welcome you, Ajit. Library is the source of knowledge. Then somebody need to be there to help you, to facilitate, to support you. So I welcome Mr. Akhil Bose. Everything happened with the support of admin staff. I welcome Mr. Ratish, Ullas, Christo, Sisni, all other newly joined Vipin, money release, where no that RBI centric. And we have a AR madam. Today she is on leave. So I think on behalf of AR madam, I can also welcome Vipin as a department. They all is the one who is handling the finance, and Vipin and Parvati madam and Kripakaran sir. All I welcome you here. Okay, I welcomed all, like, we are the member, staff, this, that, and all. And who is important here? So if there is no student, no institute. We all are here because of our beloved students. We are always happy to see fresh blood. All time directors are used to tell that, no, madam, they all are fresh. You give something to both of the HOD. We are very, very happy on behalf of all the faculty member, director, IMU. I welcome our beloved students. All the best. God bless you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the warm and inspiring welcome. Next, we're honored to hear from our distinguished leader, our campus director, retired Rear Admiral S.N. Alamendu sir, who was with a decorated career in the Indian Navy and now in leadership at IMU. Sir brings him with the wealth of experience and wisdom. It is our privilege to now invite sir to deliver the keynote address.
Thank you, Dr. Rajeshwari, for the nice welcome note, welcoming each and every one by person. Thank you so much for that. In fact, I'm extremely happy to see this, let me say, smiling faces. Let me see the smiling faces. Yeah, beautiful. And the energy and the josh you have been displaying from last 3 days here. In fact, I already interacted with most of you in the last 2 sessions as part of your orientation which is going on. And the feedback what I got from most of the speakers when they come and meet me, they said that this batch is a little unique and charged so much. The number of questions, I believe you have raised so many questions. Even yesterday, lawyer, advocate who has given you the talk on anti-ragging, he was mentioning this very, very interactive group, and he was highly appreciative. At the same time, if you recollect, Dr. Paul also mentioned, he came back to the stage and again made a special mention about his batch. So you're all very, very special. I'm extremely happy to know that in a beginning note. And before I start, I got a couple of questions to my students, just only for me to understand. So how many of yours are here from Kochi here, to see the demography here? From Kochi. Nice. And how many from Kerala other than Kochi? Very nice. And the remaining supposed to be other states other than Kerala? Great. I think the numbers are gradually increasing from other states too. Very, very healthy situation. And we may be relevant. How many of you are not very familiar with English, in fact fluent with English? I think I will leave this question to later. All our instructions are going to be in English in the near future. So, in fact, I was also a Telugu medium student in initial days. It takes a little time for you to pick up. But I've seen a couple of students who are not too fluent in English in the first year, but finally by the time they reach, they were too good and they are the best. So we are planning to have some additional sessions also for the so-called those students who require a little bit of help, and anybody can join those things and we'll work out. And one more option we have, we would like to have a simple interaction with the director or a serious talk from me. What do you want? Friendly discussion? Interaction? No, just few minutes back and I said you're all loud and thing. You want a friendly interaction? Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, if that is the case, let me start formally. Dr. Rajeshwari, Head of the Department SMM. Captain Pathak, Head of the Department Nautical Science. Our faculty members, staff members, administrative staff, and most importantly, as HOD Madam mentioned, the students of first year BA, first year BBA, first year MBB, first year BBA, MBA, and BSc Nautical Science. Very good morning to one and all. And as I said, this being my first address to the students, let me also formally invite or welcome all of you to this one. So I, on behalf of the our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Malini Shankar, staff of IMU Kochi campus, extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you to your wonderful campus. In fact, as I mentioned, looking at the number of students distribution, you are very, very lucky to have such a good combination, and you can make wonderful friends from all across the country, right? And let me start with something about the campus. Around Kochi campus, you got a wonderful, beautiful, and highly green campus with wonderful faculty who are always helpful to you, highly professional. We got a reasonably good sports facilities, an excellent library with a good collection of books, and above all, we do have 24/7 Wi-Fi. So very few campuses have got these type of facilities, and I'm sure that you will be able to utilize them very effectively. And we do have large number of clubs like sports club, adventure club, green club, and there is a plan to expand the number of clubs based on the inputs from most of the students from here. So I expect all of you to utilize effectively all these facilities and enjoy this. And you already had 3 years of orientation program here, so I will not dwell deep into this one. But at the same time, I remember during the Dr. Paul's time, some girl was asking about the placements and opportunities, particularly I think Vizhinjam Port and all. So in case you are interested, I'll just touch upon that one little bit. Should I? Okay. So in fact, I've been interacting with the industry for the last more than 2 decades. I'm talking about the placements point of view. Whenever I interact, the only input comes from the very loud and clear from the industry is, we do have large number of opportunities, large number of vacancies everywhere, any field, any sector. But the only problem here today is the students who are passing out from the either an institute or a college or a university, they are not up to the mark to be absorbed directly into the role. So they may be good in academics, but there are gaps in the personality development, gaps in the speaking skills, various other things have been highlighted again and again. The same thing was studied through the government organization, and it is unanimously mentioned that yes, there is a need for change in the academics, the way the academics are delivered to the students. So you may be aware that National Education Policy 2020, which was launched a couple of years back by the government, with a special focus on these additional skills other than the academics. As I mentioned, the personality development and other things, which are very, very vital. So all the universities, colleges are getting aligned to this slowly. Right now, the work is in progress. Same way, even at our college, our university here, we also started shifting to the other side. So there is always an additional requirement to focus on this additional communication skills, co-curricular activities, sports activities, and etc. And if you see any placement, the very first question where the industry, when they come to the campus, they say, please send the list of the students who are more than 50% or 60%, whatever it is. That's about the academics. But the individual has to get selected, means primarily based on the way you communicate, the way you interact with the other teams, the way you help the others. All these things will be examined during the interview. So these becomes very, very important and vital for all of you. So it is in your own interest. I sincerely request all of you to participate in each and every activity offered by the campus to you. Whether you call it as a quiz, whether you call it as a game, whether you are organizing an event, don't miss any of them because it fetches you a lot in the near run. So coming to the opportunities, there's somebody a question. And how many of you think you already gone through the orientation? You are aware of the Sagarmala, which Dr. Paul also touched. Maritime India Vision 2030. Has it been touched? Maritime Atmakal, MIKV, Atmakal Vision 2047. That is also touched upon? Yeah. These are all the flagship projects of the government with a special focus on the maritime sector. They started somewhere in 2014 onwards. And nearly 5 lakh crore rupees are being pumped into this sector. You can imagine the score. Earlier, maritime sector was not given adequate importance. Gradually, the governments have realized the importance of this sector, how important it is for the global economy. So a lot of money is being pumped in, and to the tune of 20 lakh jobs are likely to be created by the year 2030. 20 lakh jobs in the maritime sector alone. You can imagine what we are sitting here is a very small crowd here. So there are enough opportunities for each and every one of you. And let me recollect again, once again, what is maritime sector? What is maritime? You already maritime students and you have gone through the orientation programs. What is maritime? I want a quick response, please. This you have to inculcate. Yeah, you have gone through 3 days of orientation. Quickly. Wonderful. What's your name? Sudan. Yeah, please give a big hand to him. This how what is expected. Nice. Sudan, yeah, please. Great, wonderful. Any other definitions? Good, nice. You are all maritime students. So what is maritime? That's a very starting line. And we already gone through, yeah, nice. Get up. Nice. Simple answer, good. So to expand the same thing, what your friend, what is your name? Mayank, please give a big hand to Mayank also. Just to expand that one, any business activity or any commercial activity, any research, any study, whatever you conduct, any activity related to the water. When you say water, it could be sea, it could be river, it could be canal. Simple definition, a very broad definition. So you can imagine what all will be connected with the water. We are circumvented with the entire thing by water only. So give one example about the sea. What are the activities or subsector connected with the sea? Girls. Sector connected with the sea. I'm surprised. Don't surprise me. I think madam has asked. Now I'll change the question. How many are vegetarian? Either you eat veg or non-veg. No, both sides I have not seen hands raising. How many vegetarians? Wow, that's good. How many non-vegetarians? Yeah, that's better now. Looks good. So, can we say that shipping is a maritime sector connected with the sea? You know the answers and you're already graduates. So you don't have to do the course also. I think you're already upgraded. Great to see this. So let us start. I think I meant to spend little time on this one. It's very interesting, probably. So shipping, our friend has given the example. So what is shipping? We'll go one step ahead, little bit. As he said, shipping items from place A to place B. The place A could be a country or it could be a village or one city to other city, shipping. So the shipping means we have to have one vessel. It has to go through water. So there has to be some vessel. The vessel has to be designed to the requirement. There has to have some shape so that it can sustain in the middle of the sea with the heavy seas. So there is a requirement of designing a vessel. So something called architects, naval architects. So come into the picture, they do the design. Whether it is a oil tanker or a fuel tanker or you talk about a cargo vessel or passenger vessel, depending on the requirement, they do the design. So there is an opportunity for naval architecture in this field. This is one subsector. Like our own houses, when somebody, we have to always go to the civil engineer and the architect to do the requirements. So once the architecture does the job, somebody has to build the ship to the design. So we have shipyard here, Cochin Shipyard, Hindustan Shipyard, Mazagon Dock Limited, GRSC. There's so many of shipyards are there. They will do the construction of the ship. So when you do the construction, we need a lot of people for construction. Welders, you need fitters required, so many electricians required. That is an opportunity to oversee the operations, whether everything going smooth or correctly or as per the plan. We need a lot of people. So the shipbuilding itself is another sector. Assuming that now the ship is ready. No, before that one, we need large number of equipment inside the ship. Special category equipment for marine requirements. Am I correct? So we need engines, we need generators, we need air conditioning, we need valves, we need pipes, so many things. So they're all to be manufactured somewhere. So there are a lot of ancillary and main equipment manufacturers all around the world. So there is a huge opportunity for each ship has to have all this equipment. So then once the ship is ready, somebody has to operate it. We have the first two lines, the boys and girls in white uniform. They will be manning the ship. This direct opportunity for you guys. Gradually go to the rank of captain. So inside the engine room, for the engines to rotate, there is a manpower required. So we need marine engineers. A huge opportunity. So once the ship is moving, ship has to come to one place to the second place. So one place means we should have a port. We got a Cochin Port Trust, Mumbai Port Trust, Visakhapatnam Port Trust, Chennai Port Trust, Pipavav, so many other ports are there. So there has to be a requirement of a port. When you have a port, that means ship will come alongside, like parking. So once the ship comes alongside, so there has to be some mechanism to load the ship's items and unload the items. You can imagine the number of millions of tons of cargo coming in and coming out. So the number of people involved in each stage. Are you able to visualize? So there has to be sequencing everywhere. This is where our great logisticians will come into the picture. Each and every item has to be sequenced and there has to be security. We cannot let loose all the items whatever the way we want. There will be checks and balances, security staff. And to control the entire thing, we need IT these days because we are talking about millions and millions of cargo moving and to track them. So we need IT related people under the logistics. So likewise, and once you finish the life of a ship, say around 25 to 30 years. The ship has to be finishes life. The way we are Maruti car, they all go to the scrap. There are scrap yards for the ships. That dismantling the thousands of tons of ship into small, small pieces itself is another technology by itself, another sector by itself, ship breaking. There are huge opportunities in that place. So what we are talking about is only one small element raised by Susan regarding the shipbuilding. Likewise, there are so many other sectors. And that, yeah, can we have an example from other sectors? Whatever has come to your mind. Pardon? What is your name? Nishant Sharma. Please give a big hand. This is what I am looking at you. Good. What is that you are talking? What is that sector you mentioned? Yes, exactly. Very good. Offshore vessels. Yeah, please. Thank you. Sit down. Any of you? Yeah, I could see suddenly more number of people getting up. Great. Warehousing. Wonderful. Definitely without warehousing, we cannot move items place A to place B.
Sir, port operations.
Port operations, yes, we just touched upon.
Sir.
Wonderful. Finance. When we talk about so many millions of containers, amount of money going to be transferred, items, thing, everything is connected to the finance only, whether to take the item, you have to pay the money, take the item back, you have to pay the money. So the finance itself is another huge sector. Very good.
Tourism, sir.
Who is that?
Tourism.
Excellent, wonderful. Tourism. Now we talk about the Lakshadweep, Cochin, Mumbai, Goa, Port Blair. All these places are connected with the coastal tourism. The ships from place A to place B, you're all will be traveling in the near future. So there's a huge opportunity for the cruise tourism. And when you say the cruise ship is there, there are people inside the ship. Like 5-star hotel, we have a serving staff, specially trained. In fact, we are planning to have an MOU with Gati Shakti University to train the people on the cruise ships, how to serve like 5-star hotels. Like we are planning to have one more MOU with the IHM, hotel management. This is another sector, sub-sector, but it is different, but there is a requirement like this. Somewhat, this is the right opportunity, yes, let us discuss. Good. You heard some underwater mining? Now there is a huge requirement of rare earths. Most of the rare earths which are required for the new technologies are available under the seabed. When I say under the seawater, hundreds and thousands of meters below. So how do you go down, get these rare earths and extract and use this for the new technologies? China has got a lot of reserves. We believe that India too has got a lot of this thing, but we have not ventured into this. So there is a new opportunity. So going down below this one itself is a technology. Getting the extracting the item from the down is another technology. So there is another opportunity like this. And marine biology, marine environment. Every day you are listening to the music. So-and-so is happening, so-and-so getting polluted. And we are talking about the green shipping, changing the technology to reduce the carbon emissions. It's all, everything is connected to the maritime only. We are not stepping out of that. Dr. Paul mentioned the dredging operations. For the ship, once it comes alongside, to get inside, we need to clear the path with an adequate depth. So the dredging is another thing. Maritime finance is the most important thing. And when we have so many people involved in this thing, there will be a lot of issues. Law is also required. Maritime law. Very, very vital. So that is another growing subject. And some of you can, in fact, the other day I saw one student mentioning that I got a business already. I wanted to enhance my business. We can have a lot of entrepreneurs from this group, a lot of startups from here. IMU is giving a lot of support to give a special focus on these startups. If you are any of you interested, we will facilitate you to get the funding also and technical support, administrative support and everything that can be done. There are research opportunities. There are so many research students already enrolled into IMU, and some of you will come back as professors here, back to our own campus. So there are adequate opportunities, unlimited. So only thing is you have to think which area you would like to pick up and vertically go down, deep dive into the subject, but keeping the peripheral, everything you should be aware of this in what is happening. To add to this one, in fact, I must say this one, AI is picking up so fast. We never heard anything about the last 5 years about artificial intelligence. In your own interest, you have to spend extra energy, effort, and time to do some courses in this subject. It's very, very vital. And whenever we talk to somebody, they talk about without AI, either you have a certificate or some appreciation or something connected with the AI, the interviews, you're not able to crack them so easily. But if you have this AI in your hand, it is a big weapon for you to crack the interview. So I think this is what basically about the opportunities. There are n number of opportunities, unlimited. So you have to prove your mettle in your own way, and you have to gear up. And at the same time, if you want to do well, there are enough number of books to study, and each book is small book to the big books, and give points and points together. If I have to sum up in just a minute time, I got 2 points to say. 2 things you can do, 2 mantras. The first one is, if you want to be successful, any guess? What you have to be if you want to be successful in your career? Yes. Consistency, very nice, undoubtedly. Come on. Dedication, excellent, no doubt. Discipline, charity, smart work, ultimate. Some more. We got a lot of experienced people here. In fact, during the introduction time, I saw people with wide background here, with different qualifications. Some of them, done already engineering and other courses, and somebody worked in various industries for years together and also joined here. So we got a very broad spectrum of team here, and we should be able to throw more and more inputs like this. So can we some more? Strategy, very technical and very good. Network, time management. So everybody talks about so many things, and everything is very, very important, undoubtedly. But I just like to sum it up into 2 points. We have to make it into 2 points. From my side, my perspective, what I understood and what my gurus told me is the first and foremost is enjoy your campus life. Enjoy your life. Ash karo. Enjoy. And do what you like and like what you do. Nothing else. Most of the people say that when first you should work hard, study and all. No, I'm not giving the priority one to the studies. The first is you must enjoy the campus life. Again and again I'm repeating this one. And when I say enjoying the college life doesn't mean that bunking the classes, hooking onto the mobile phones. No? These are not the things what we are expecting, or fighting with somebody. So use your time very effectively. And when I say effectively, pursue your own ambitions, pursue your own passion. You want to do some good drawing, if you're interested in cycling, you're interested in swimming, sports, make some good friends. Likewise, there is no limit to these things. Keep expanding your horizon, and at the end of the day, the campus life is one-time offer for you. Don't miss this opportunity. And any of you like to fail in the examinations and enjoy? Nobody. So everybody wants to pass. The passing and the academics automatically become the part of your joy, enjoyment. So I don't have to say separately that, yeah, you do academics well. If you want to enjoy the campus life, that is also one of the elements. So automatically you will spend your time on the studies and automatically you will pass. So this is one important thing what you have to do. And the second thing would like to mention is hard work with sincerity. In fact, a lot of people have mentioned the same thing. Whatever you do, there is, in fact, I always tell the same thing. There is no substitute to the hard work in life. Nobody dies of hard work. And particularly this is more and more applicable in the present scenario where the competition is so high, particularly for you guys. The hard work, without hard work, nobody can go to the next level. Added to that one is the sincerity. You must attempt, whatever the job given or got taken by you, should do it with the utmost sincerity. I'll give you a small example for the sincerity and connected with this. If somebody, if I tell someone to run from here to the main gate and come back, two people. One person takes, say, 1 minute to go to this place and come back. Okay. The second person has got a little bit of handicap. He takes 5 minutes to go and come back. Generally. But now I said, please today, now I'm observing you, please do that. The first person goes and comes back in, say, 1.5 minutes time. 1.5 minutes. The second person, instead of 5 minutes, he has come back in 4 minutes time or 3 minutes time. So finally, what is the timing? 1.5 minutes and 3 minutes. Who is the best? Come again? So it is not the thing how fast you are running, how sincerely you are attempting and achieving the goal. And when you are sincere, that is the best ability that individual has done. And he could cut down the time by 2 minutes. That is what is being seen by everyone, observed by everyone. So please keep this in mind. And whatever job you do, please don't compete with others. Compete with yourself and try to do the sincere job wherever you are. So I think this is about the advice. There are some certain do's and don'ts also I just want to touch upon. I think they're also very important. As far as the do's are concerned, very basics. I don't have to elaborate too much. Basic discipline, basic addressing others, respecting others. If you want me to elaborate, they're all for the small kids. But I'm using the broad word, discipline. You will be representing the campus from here to Chennai or so and so other universities you will be going. But you are representing the Indian Maritime University Kochi campus. Anything good, bad you do, the entire campus has got the repercussions. So please keep that in mind. And one more thing is, I request all of you to give some suggestions. You are all university students, not the college students or institute students. You should feel proud. What is the difference between a complaint and a suggestion? Both are same? Great, wonderful. So you're all university students. I'm reminding you again, you're not a simple college student or a school students, or not even an institute. University students have the highest level of maturity. So, as you rightly said, I'll give you a small example for example. Suppose we are having, as I said, 24/7, we have a Wi-Fi here for the entire campus. There could be some black spots here and there, which we will not get the Wi-Fi fully. So one way of telling is, sir, I am not getting the Wi-Fi in my sports ground. And complaint is given and khatam. Outcome is 0. Whereas the other person who feels that he should give a suggestion, he will do little more study on the subject. Sir, I think this area, with my knowledge, what I have spoken to my friends, if we can have one more tower or one more extension box, something. So probably that area will think and satisfaction level will be better and utility will be better. So the second version, the suggestions will improve the capacity of yourself first and the campus also. So this is very, very important, and I sincerely request all of you to be part of this suggestion group to improve the campus, and it will give you an opportunity for you to think nicely and improve your own personality. So we are, as I mentioned again, we are planning to have some additional clubs. Yesterday only I met Ritvik, no madam? Yesterday we met that student for music, Ritvik. One of the students came to me. He is too good in Adidev. He came to me and he sang a song in my cabin, and I'm so impressed, and he's got the highest talent as far as music is concerned. I requested him, can you pull in some more guys, like-minded guys, and let us start the music club. So he said that he will look into this one. So similarly, we can come up with the new ideas and we'll try to expand our scope. Similarly, there are certain don'ts. Please listen to them a little carefully, because I'm a little strict in these things and very, very important for all of us. The very first thing is the ragging. Yesterday only you had a session. I don't think the requirement of any elaboration. Correct? In fact, yesterday when I was interacting with him, he was telling that the type of implications for the students, in case somebody get caught with the knowingly or unknowingly also, it appears that life is gone. I was surprised. So I hope, and I'm sure that none of you will dare to do any of this type of things after listening to that yesterday's lecture. Second thing is the gender sensitivity. It is order of the day to discuss a little more on this. Ours is a co-ed college. We have both girls and boys, men and women working together in close quarters. So we all should be aware of the fact there has to be limits whenever you are in a group, how to talk, how much to talk, what type of language we need to use, when you exchange the messages or exchange the information or videos, how much, and when you are interacting in a group, touching. I'm telling you openly, you're all grown-up kids. We must discuss this openly. So please draw the Lakshman Rekha. Never ever cross those things. The implications, as you know, very severe. These are all sometimes happen knowingly or unknowingly, but you have to be very cautiously, you have to handle ourselves. This is applicable for both the genders, not to the boys or girls separately, right? Third one is the drugs. In fact, I think the Sub-Inspector Sri Lakshmi, yeah, I think she gave a wonderful talk along with that other medical support. I think that also self-explanatory. What are the implications? This is like something like a one-way ticket. If you get in, then again will not come back. In fact, a very interesting way they were projected. I'm very, very happy that they have addressed the entire student gang with the right perspective. So, but one thing is, any symptoms of having the drug or passing through the drugs, that is the last day for in the campus. Keep that in mind. But one thing, what I learned from the yesterday's lecture was, in case somebody already hooked into for some reason or other, if the voluntarily comes to us immediately, not at a later date, definitely we should all together help them. We'll do that sort of thing. But somebody caught for some wrong reasons, that's the last day in the campus. And in fact, I was told that 10 years of imprisonment. Am I correct? And unbailable, non-bailable warrant, I believe. It's very shocking. Straight away from here, they will go, even the amount of, in fact, that lady was mentioning, that the sub-inspector, 0.5 grams of some substance. I was not actually prepared to know such information. 0.5 grams of a substance, it in a possession, straight away police will come and put them, not even going to the parents or anything, non-bailable warrant and put it inside, and 10 years imprisonment. That means life is zero. Can you imagine? So I don't have to elaborate further in that case. And one more point is discrimination against the caste, creed, against all standard things. I don't want to elaborate. We're all grown-up kids, right? We have people from North India, South India, various languages, various things. We should work like a single team. You should have that patience and empathy for everyone. So there are so many do's and don'ts. I'm sure that other sessions will cover some more in detail. But just need to touch upon this attendance. In fact, when I came and joined this institute, I was told that here 85% is the attendance requirement. Unlike most of the other colleges, there will be 70, 75, like this. But whether you like it or not, we have all accepted, and we have to ensure 85% attendance is mandatorily complied with, so that we can appear for the exams and clear our exams. There's no other option, right? So each day of your leave, whenever you are taking, calculate your balance 15%, always keep that in mind. And the second thing is the stress management. You guys are going through a very different level of peer pressures. When compared to our own good old days, it's totally different. The peer pressure, competitive spirit, name anything and everything. And parents' pressure, the parents' expectations. So these complications are going to be there with you all the time. And they are all going to generate lots of stress without you realizing that you are going through the stress. It's a fact on ground. So you have to manage the stress. Very, very important. So managing stress means you have to find some means, and in fact, we are also planning to have some additional lectures through separate experts. Hopefully that will help you a little bit for those who are going through this type of stress moments, right? So, and there are certain cases where people, IITs and all, we see in the news. I'm openly sharing the fact because this is applicable to all of us. There are a lot of students who committed suicide in IITs, particularly medical colleges, not because of something else, because they're not able to manage the stress properly. So how do we manage the stress is a topic by itself. We will have definitely some experts, as I mentioned. And in case at any time you feel that you are stressed, please take help from your friends, your parents, your teachers, professors, and you can come to me also. Anytime. I'm repeating this sentence. Please take help from your colleagues or parents without any hesitation. Nobody will feel bad. Yeah, I said everyone goes through the same thing at some particular point of time. So don't hesitate and take help from others. Next thing is accidents. Like any other place, Cochin is also now become an accident place. Every day we hear so many accidents, and some of them are fatal. Unfortunately, in our own campus, in fact, our alumni, 2 students we lost in last year after passing out, just after passing out from our campus. Very sad. I will tell you one more thing. At this age group, there's a tendency, natural tendency, for us to drive fast, drive fancy. I think if I recollect my own good old days, I think even I have done the same thing. Similar banking, everything, going full speed. This is age group. But one thing you should always remind yourself and remember, there are people behind you at home, your parents with high expectations. And sometimes could be fatal, even sometimes could be small leg injury, leg amputation, anything. It changes your life. So that emotional, the fraction of second control is very, very important. Remind yourself again and again and again, yes, I am crossing the limit. And second thing is, the accidents may not occur because of your fault. is somebody else's fault who is riding other side. So you have to be cautious about that one also. Why I'm telling these things? Because we are seeing right in front of our gate, once you go out, it is a very dangerous spot. Couple of accidents already happened. So whenever you move out, you have to slow you down yourself, look for both sides, and then only take a leap to move out of the campus. So these are the small things. And I think Captain Patak will talk about other do's and don'ts in detail, including the breakages of equipment. And we procured so many gadgets into the campus. New furniture we got, new screens, smart screens we got, likewise, and so many chairs and etc. So please utilize them effectively and do not indulge in any type of breakages, which will ensure that everybody pays for that one otherwise. So that's about it. So I think enough boring. And last 3 days, which is coming to an end probably with today. Finally, I'll conclude by saying that one, you all have a wonderful opportunity and make the facilities, utilize the facilities very effectively and do well for yourself and society and enjoy the campus life. Be a good citizen of India and get wonderful placements so that you will be happy, your parents will be happy and proud of you. And at the same time, we at the campus also will be happy if you, in case you are all settled down extremely well. So I wish you, each and every one of you, happy, healthy, satisfying, and most successful academic sessions ahead. Okay, that's good. Thanks. So once again, all the very, very best. And I got a small one more add-on point to be added, which is again, our campus is focusing is conserving water and electricity, which should be actually a point from the students, because you are the generation which we are talking about, talk in depth about the environment, so many other effects. So we are making a special drive for conserving the water and electricity. So let us be part of it, and we will try to organize some events also to this effect. Once again, thank you very much, and all the very, very best, and Godspeed to one and all. Good luck to you. Thank you. Last but not the least, please give a big hand to all the organizing team for wonderfully organizing, right from the professors, HODs, and the organizing team. Please give a big hand. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for those valuable insights and for setting the tone for the journey ahead. As students of a central university, it is important to understand the expectations, discipline, and academic commitment that come with it. To guide us on the general code of conduct and rules on attendance at IMU, we now invite Captain Sujit Kumar Patak, sir, Deputy Registrar, Indian Maritime University, Kochi campus. Sir, we request you to kindly take the stage.
Good morning to all. Honorable Director Sir, Rear Admiral S.N. Almanda, respected HOD Madam Dr. Rajeshwari, my dear colleagues, and the most important, my dear students. I hope you had a wonderful these sessions for the last 3 days. So here I am here to just point out some of the model code of conduct which sir has already discussed. So just I want to highlight on the points so that you are very clear. And you must be aware that when you have taken the admission, when you took the admission, you have signed also one or two papers which you may not be aware that time, but you have to be aware. You have already signed that model code of conduct. So what are the model code of conducts? So what sir has rightly told, that you can enjoy the campus life only when you have some boundaries. You have got the energy, but if you jump out of that boundary and utilize in some other sectors, then you will land up in some trouble. So whatever energy you have to be within that boundaries. So all the energy has to be utilized in your sector. If you are in nautical science department, you have to use all your energy in that. So just I am defining the boundaries that you have to be within that boundaries, so that when you go out of this campus, at least you have added something to your life, whether you have improved your soft skills, or you have become a very good communicator, or you have developed some other skills. So just you see that what you can take from this campus. Don't waste your energy here and there, just you have to be within these boundaries. So most of the points sir has already covered, just I will cover some of the points very quickly. Code of conduct for the students. First of all, I should welcome you all to IME Kochi campus, because now you are a part of this campus. You know? And many of you might still be thinking that whether I am in the correct place or not. That must be in your mind, surely, 100%, whether I should pursue engineering or I should have gone to some other campus. All these doubts might be there in your mind. But one thing you have to remember, wherever you are, you have to make that place beautiful, and you have to rise from that place. It is not that if you land up in IITs or somewhere, you will grow up to something else. Wherever you have, don't keep on crying and crippling that I should be in this place or that place. Wherever you are, you have to develop yourself and go to the next level. That is what you have to think. Don't think that right or wrong, just you have chosen a career and you have to go forward. That's all. That should be your pakka aim of life. Don't get confused. Okay, and don't take too many inputs. You have joined somewhere, now you have to go up. That's all. Many examples are there. Just to look at the examples. Those may, like Steve Jobs and all that persons, just to see the examples, you read autobiographies and all. So some of the rules and regulations are there. You should not indulge in all these activities. Violation of any college rules, or don't shift any property. Suppose you have got a laptop or anything, or a CPU in one room and trying to shift to another room. All these things you should not do. See, everything is mentioned in this. I have taken everything from this circular. It is available on the IMU website also. Circular number 1705. You can note that and you can go through that. Use of any language which is not permitted inside the campus. You should not use that. Caste feeling and all this, sir has already highlighted. This all regional feelings, you should not highlight all that. Any violence in physical form is not accepted. Or you are going to some media and talking to media, all these are not permitted. Or you are trying to bring the image of this university down. All these are not permitted. It is written. It is explicit. Already expressed in the form of this circular. So if you do all this, then you will end up in some trouble. So better you avoid all this. Then consumption of drugs. Again and again you had a good session. Smoking in public place. Unauthorized entry of any person. You should not call any other outsiders also who are not authorized. Ragging, I think no need to say. Enough has been said. So ragging again and again we are focusing, because the guidelines have come from UGC and other departments also that you have to be careful. Don't get indulged. If any report is there, straight away you can approach any of us. That is a freedom we have given. So this we will take very seriously if anything is there. So ragging, I am telling you, don't keep it to yourself, or your seniors will disturb or whatever is there. Straight away you can approach any of us, any faculty or myself, or HOD, or sir also. Don't keep it to yourself. Those who are in the hostels, for them you have some rules. Don't break the locked rooms, cupboard, lockers. Again, shifting, unauthorized occupation in the hostel. So once you have the summer vacation or winter vacation, immediately you have to vacate the hostel. You cannot be staying for 5 days extra or 10. But if you want to stay for some reasons, you should take some permission also. And for all of you, in the class we have a list of items. That in the classrooms you have fans, this, all list of items are there. And at the bottom, if you read very carefully, it is written, if you break any of these items or damage any of these items, so what we have planned, that equally we will distribute among all the students. If you can identify that this particular student has broken, immediately we will withdraw the money or whatever is caution money, we will cut the caution money from him. But if you are not ready to disclose the name, then collectively we will fine from everybody. That you have to keep in mind. And CCTV is fitted everywhere. You cannot escape also. Then students deliberate boycott of the class, you should not do. Due decorum has to be maintained. Then library, also some rules and regulations are there. And when you sit in the mess rooms, so all this you have to see. Causing disturbance, like somebody is teaching in the class and purposely you are disturbing that, all things are not allowed. Okay, any form of demonstrations outside, it is not allowed. Don't jump into your fundamental rights. You have got some fundamental duties also. First read that, then you talk about your rights. Okay. Then those who are these nautical science students and all, you have in a day attendance is very serious, what sir has already told. So for the hostelers, morning fall-in is there, so that is 0.25. Then when you come to the class, that is 0.25. So 0.25 plus 0.25, half day. Then afternoon session, 0.25. Then night time, you have to assemble. That also attendance will account. So altogether it comes to 1. If you are absent in any one of the sessions, out of these 4, if you are absent in any one of the sessions, your half-day attendance will go. Suppose you have not come in the morning session, fall in or something, then your half-day goes. So attendance and all, we don't do anything. We publish in our notice board, and finally at the end of the session, you will be made aware that your attendance is this much, and we send individually to the parents also. And this is very serious, and you have to deal it. We will not change. Don't be under the impression that sir will manipulate and change. We don't change. Whatever is there, we'll just stick to that. Okay. Library also, you have got some rules and regulations. I think Akhil sir has already told you yesterday, but still, tampering with iCard, destroying books, journals, library, all these are not allowed. Dress code is also mandatory. For nautical science students also, BBA and MBA also. You can see that I have wearing the same dress as she is wearing. So that is the dress code what you should have. So this blue color dress is for BBA, and that dress you have for MBA. And for nautical science you have that another dress code. So you have to just stick to that. Okay, don't wear any other dress apart from this dress. Okay. Then if we have a disciplinary committee also, so you have, if suppose you don't follow this, then we have to deal seriously with the disciplinary committees. Okay. So this was a brief, small brief, and some points also I will try to bring to your attention. %, I think that you already know. But suppose somebody has got less than 85%. But you can have less than 85, but with some reasons. It is not that you just sit and I will have only, but minimum is 75, and that too with the permission of the director only. It is not that you can have less than, you have to give some reasons for that, why you had less than 85%. You should have proper medical record, and that too by permission from the director only. Then it can go to 75%, but you cannot go below 75. And from 75 till 80% you have to pay 10,000. 80 to 85% you have to pay 5,000. And if it goes below 75, then you have break-in studies. You cannot appear for the end semester exam. Whatever you want, you cannot appear. Less than 75, that is called break-in studies. So that you have to keep in mind. And for BBA students and BSc Nautical Science students, one more thing you have to remember, that whatever papers you have in first and second year, all the papers, arrear papers should be cleared within 2 years. That you keep in mind. Whatever arrear papers you have in first year and second year, all the arrears should be clear within 2 years. If you have not cleared all the papers, you cannot shift to the third year. So that is very important for BSc and BBA. This is a new regulation, so you have to be careful in that. And one more thing is there for examination. Suppose examination is going on and in between you try to have some cheat, unfair means and all. So you can land up in some trouble also. So that guideline is also given in the ordinance, chapter 15. I am also a part of that committee, so yesterday only we finished that. So that also you have to be careful. So examination and all, don't expect that you will come with a cheat or some mobile phone. There are some severe punishments and we cannot do anything on that. Like in this committee only yesterday we had one girl, she had brought the cheat for third time. First day she brought, second day also she brought, third day also. So what is the punishment for that? Just an example. If the candidate has repeated the unfair means third time, what is the punishment? Cancel the university examination of all subjects registered by the candidate for the session, so gone, and debar him or her for 2 years from registering and appearing for the university exam. So this is the consequence. So yeah, just I'm reading one of the consequences. So if you do all this nonsense, then you can land up in some trouble. So you have to study carefully, and the boundaries also we have told, it is not a very strict one. Just you have to uplift. And once again, all the best for your coming 2 years or 3 years, whatever you stay. And I thank our director, sir, who is very enthusiastic in all the initiatives. So you have to use all these initiatives, whatever are there, in a positive manner. So if you come up with some suggestions, what directors are told, we will try to implement. But don't try to go in some other direction. So we will try to help you out in all the situations. Madam is also there, I am also there, sir is also, all our faculty members. We are here to help you out and take you to the next level. Okay, so we should have a very cordial atmosphere. If you are good in sports, we will try to arrange some sports event. And sir told like music and all. You should just involve in all these things. So we'll be happy with that. So in a semester we can organize some good events. And suppose somebody wants to explore that I am good in mimicry. You can explore, stage is yours only. We don't restrict anything. So you explore all your potential, whatever potential energy you think it is stored and it was not explored in your school days. You can explore. This is the right platform and you can explore everything. There is nobody to laugh. You laugh yourself or you do whatever is there, but you explore your potential. You make sure that when you leave out from this campus, you have explored whatever I wanted to explore. This is the best platform and our director sir is ready for all that so that you explore everything. Once again, I welcome you all. Thanks a lot.
I take a sorry figure not mentioning Vipin name and Parvati name. And beyond that, please, give the standing ovation for all your, your volunteer. Last 4 days, sincerely, I would say, without our presence also, they conducted a session. All can give a big round of applause for your senior. And everything, each and everything, they are the one who did it. I request, thank you so much. And take it as a inspiration, learning from your seniors. We also expect you to be standing here and getting same reward. Thank you all.
So on behalf of all the students, I extend our heartfelt thanks to our retired Rear Admiral S.N. Alamanda sir, our respected director sir, for his inspiring presence and continued support. We are especially grateful to Dr. Professor Rajeshri ma'am, HOD of Maritime Management, and Captain Sujit Kumar sir, HOD of Nautical Science, for the valuable guidance and warm welcome. And a sincere thank you to our faculty coordinator, Dr. T.S. Arvind sir, and for his dedicated efforts in organizing this orientation so smoothly. We also thank all the faculty members for their support, encouragement that's throughout. Our appreciation also goes to the administrative staff, non-teaching staff, and who are behind the scenes, who made this work run efficiently and comfortably for us. And finally, a heartfelt thank you to all the volunteers for their constant help, kind presence. You guys truly made at ease. So thank you all once again. Also, thank you to our dear freshers, my dear juniors, my dear seniors, all. Thank you so much for helping us, and we're really excited to see you, and we really, all the best for you guys. So now it's tea break. Everyone should return by 11:30.
Chalo, all the very best. Good luck.